We're back. All right, to try out Flubaroo, I'm going to create a new form, and we'll call this Flubaroo test. I think I spelled it right. We'll find out. And I'm just going to put two questions in there. I'm going to have one right and one wrong. So I want to see how that works. How old are you? And multiple choice, 44, 43. Okay, that's me. And now I'm going to clone this right here, make a second one. And I'm going to have the same question just for simplicity's sake. This could be another question, but I'm going to get one right and one wrong. I want to see how Flubaroo does with that. So I have two questions. I'm ready to go with this. And so now, let's go back to, did they have, what I do, oftentimes when I'm doing tutorials like this, I will have the video queued up and I'll rewind it and try it out. But I'll just take a stab at it, but I might need some help. Were they looking at the spreadsheet when they addressed the Flubaroo? This is what I mean is,
Yeah, to do the score ratings.
right,
Yeah,
yes.
add-ons.
Got it. And so what I want to do is, first, he had already taken it as himself.
Yeah.
Oh, and I have to have the name. That information needs to be in there too. So let's go in, and I'm going to create, we'll call this first. Ooh. I took 2 years of Latin in high school because I thought it was smart. I didn't take keyboarding. Those are the choices. I can't type. I hunt and peck. So, you know, me being smart in high school, taking Latin because I thought it was good for my brain, I've been dope slapped every year since high school because I still have not taught myself to type. So, but I'm protecting myself from carpal tunnel. That's why.
Right.
That's what I tell myself.
Yeah.
All right, so I've got first name. Something happened there. Oh, I see. I didn't fix. I got first name, and instead of multiple choice, it's just going to be text. I'm going to clone this, and on the clone, it'll be last. And again, text. So I should have first and last. And I'm going to move these up above. I didn't show you that before. You can just grab the question and drag and drop. So sorting them and moving them around. The next question, I'm going to clone it again. And this one's going to be email. And it's just, again, a text box. And he had that as the example. And I really like the email thing. So you can email the students automatically and let them know what their score was. That's pretty slick. And again, imagine using one assessment 3 times before you even do anything so they get an idea of what's going to be coming. Then midterm to see how it's going, and then doing a final, maybe summative assessment that would actually be graded. And you can not email them the first couple times or the first time just because you don't want to freak them out because some kids are like, what, I got an F? It's like, well, no, nobody really knows what's going on yet. So maybe just not email them that. But midterm, or when you say you should be getting a hold of most of these concepts, they can kind of get an idea where they're at. They're like, wow, I just bombed out. Well, maybe you need to up your game a little bit or review some material. All right, I think I have the template that they want. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to view responses. Oh, no, I'm not going to view responses. I'm going to view the live form because I want to take this thing. My name is Scott. Last time I checked, it was Leduc. And I'm going to, well, let's see, I'll use this account, my Gmail one. And how old are you? 44, 44, submit. All right, now to have some data to measure, I'm going to pretend I'm somebody else. So I'm going to submit another response. I'm Michael. That's my middle name. And it shouldn't have a problem with the last name. And I'll use my school district email account for this one, just because. I'm going to get that one wrong, and I'll get this one right. All right, now I should be able to go in and take a look at the responses. And this is where we're going to attach or have Flubaroo do its magic. So I've got the results. And just to kind of give you an idea of where this is, I'm taking in to the background because once you've created documents in Drive, everything that's created shows up on your list. So this is this. Notice the icon here. This is a form. This is the results of the form. It's a spreadsheet. So I'm just showing you where these things are residing. So I'm just going to click back on this one. Okay, so here we are. Now, add-ons is right here. And I know you may not be able to see that too well, But there's Flubaroo. Let me zoom in a little bit more here. And grade assignment. So far, so good. Exciting. Identify student, good. Is there anything else here? Nope, it's just part of the process. 1 point. Okay, and I have to zoom out a little bit because I can't see the bottom here. Okay, that's good enough. Continue. All right, and now grading step, please select which submission you want to use as the answer key, and that was me. Continue. Imagine students creating these for your class. You know, pick a student who already nailed the material down or something. Of course, they wouldn't take it. And you'd have to talk to them about cheating. It's like, well, if they're generating this thing, and I just say, hey, the assessment is for me to know who's getting it and who's not. And especially the first two, it's not going in the grade book. It's a formative assessment. I just want to know if they're getting it or not. That part would be fine. Then the final summative, you might move the questions around, just in case some, whatever. All right, let's view grades. And voila, since I only had one real student, it did its magic. And I'll zoom back out one click. So there we go. It has the grade. I got 50%. I have room for improvement. And under, they had, was it tools? I can create data, and I always forget where they have that. They have show summary of responses. You can see here information. And it gives you data you can show. You're sitting down with your administrator. You can bring up this, saying, okay, the first assessment we did, we can see that most kids did not get the information. But a few did. They've had experience. They're my second years or whatever. And you can look at the data and have that, and then say, here's our second assessment, here's our third assessment. And you can take pictures of this, drag this out, email it to yourself, hit print, and have that. So when you're sitting down with the conference with your administrator, you can say, okay, here's how I'm taking this, and Danielson. And yeah.
I was going to ask, on the forms, could you insert a picture rather than text? So identify this muscle, and you show a picture of the muscle.
Really good question. Okay, so let's check this out. Yeah, first answer, I don't know. Second, let's give it a shot.
Well, if you can video and take a screenshot, you would be able to.
Yeah, well, this thing, like in the actual form itself, what you might do to be less geeky and just to like, get this thing done is you create some things you put on the wall and number them and say, okay, for question 1, refer to this chart, and like literally have it on the wall. And that'd be a less geeky way, because I have not seen how to get stuff to go into forms that way. And right now I would spend some time in a moment to go Google it.
Insert?
Well, something that I've done for stuff like that is I'll do like visual recognition thing. Is I make a PowerPoint that's timed, so each slide runs for 10 seconds, and it's got the picture. So the kids sit there and then they have their form that they have to fill out. So they basically have 10 seconds to identify that part or how to. Okay.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So it's kind of separate.
Yeah.
Then they would just, okay, this is picture 1, picture 2, picture 3.
Yeah, and I think that would get most of the kids. If the kids have the form up and ready to go, and you start that, 10 seconds should be more than ample. If they know the material, they're going to be able to get it within 10 seconds. If they fall behind, you can say, okay, ladies and gentlemen, we're done, but we're going to do one more run through for those who need it. The second run through, they wait until question 4 when they missed it, and then they type it in. So they don't hit submit until, if they want to go, you'll say, we're going to go through this twice. And you time it. So both times, and then you're done. Saying, if you didn't get that through the 2 times going through it, you obviously don't know it well enough, and that's okay. You're telling me where you're at. Doing them both the first 2 as formative assessments, and it's not graded, takes the stress off of them. But again, you're trying to measure what they're getting and what they're not, and how to adapt the learning and support for them. But knowing summative is coming, this is good practice. All right, I'm going to stop the video.